Hello friends, in today's video we will see how Buddhism, which was a local religious sect, has been transformed into a world religion. So let's start. We saw in the last few videos that Buddha attained nirvana, that is enlightenment, at the age of 35 years, and ultimately he died in Kushinagar at the age of 80 years. This event is called Mahaparinirvana. So the period from attaining enlightenment till his death, that is, for these 45 years, Buddha kept on hiking continuously, that is, continued to travel on foot, and spread the teachings of Buddhism by roaming from place to place. In these 45 years, the rainy season was the only time when Buddha used to stay at one place. Buddha did not talk about big metaphysical concepts like God, soul, rebirth, and all these things. He used to talk about solving practical problems of common people. He was a practical reformer and used to make people understand that how they can achieve real happiness while living on earth. And to spread these teachings, he had chosen Pali language. Pali was the language of common people. So due to all these reasons, he got a lot of initial followers. To organize these followers, he created an order called Sangh. The doors of Sangh were open to all. Anyone could join Sangh without any discrimination. Men, women, caste, rich, poor. There was no any kind of restriction for anyone. But three types of people could not join Sangh. First, soldiers. No soldier could join the Sangh without the king's permission. Moreover, a person who was a slave could not join the Sangh until his master had freed him. And that person who is in debt to someone was also not allowed to join Sangh. Now, it is not that every person who was following Buddha was a part of Sangh. Those followers of Buddha who have accepted monkhood were only considered as members of Sangh. They were called bhikshus. The rest of the followers who did not accept monkhood or have just become new followers, that is, lay worshippers, they are called upasikas or upasak, that is, worshippers. Upasika is generally called female lay followers. Male lay followers are called upasak. So we can see that along with males, females could also become lay followers of Buddha, that is upasika. Now the question is whether there could have been female bhikshus in the same way. Then the answer is yes. Female bhikshunis were called nuns. So let us now look ahead and understand how a common man can become upasak, that is worshipper. And if an upasak wants to become a bhikshu, then how can he become one? So here we have to know about some Buddhist ceremonies. A common man has to participate in a ceremony to become a upasak, which is called pravaraj. In this ceremony, when a common man declares that he wants to come under the shelter of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangh, then he becomes an upasak. While being an upasak, he has to follow many rules and vows. And from time to time, he receives teachings from the bhikshus, that is, monks of the Sangh. In this way, a time comes when he has the choice that if he wants, he can become a bhikshu himself. In order to become a bhikshu, he has to participate in a ceremony called Upsampada. In this ceremony, an upasak becomes a bhikshu after taking some monastic pledges. During this ceremony, his head is shaved and he is given yellow robes. Becoming a bhikshu means becoming a part of Sangh. But after becoming a bhikshu, your journey does not end here. The journey has just begun. Every bhikshu has to follow all the Patimukha rules. Out of these Patimukha rules, 227 rules are for monks and 311 rules are for nuns. If you are a female bhikshu, then the laws of Sangh are more strict for you. Every bhikshu has to follow Patimukha rules, and to follow these rules, a high level discipline is required. And for all the bhikshus to be disciplined, the Sangh is governed on democratic lines. What happens is that every fortnight, means every new moon and full moon day, all the surrounding bhikshus have to assemble at one place. After being assembled, by voting in a democratic way, they elect their president, who is called Sangh Parinayak. In addition to this, Two speakers are also elected, one who gives knowledge on Dhamma, the other on Vinaya. In this assembly, resolutions are passed by voting in a democratic way related to the further programs of the Sangh. And in this meeting, all the members present in the Sangh also have to confess that whether they have broken any Patimukha rule in the last 15 days or not. By the way, apart from confession, you can also comment on the behavior of other bhikshus and tell that I have seen this bhikshu breaking the Patimukha rule. Now, the situation is that there are more than 200 rules in the Patimukha rules. We have already seen this. If some rules are broken by you, then you can apologize, the work is over. But there are four rules which, if any bhikshu breaks, then he can be removed from Sangh. And this is very serious because once removed from Sangh, bhikshu cannot become a part of that Sangh again. So let's see which are these four mistakes. The first mistake is sexual intercourse. If bhikshu has had sex with anyone in the last 15 days, or if he has taken more than what he is entitled to, if he has come after killing someone, or is telling everyone that he has become enlightened, so these are the four mistakes for which he will be expelled from the Sangh. And this event is called Parajika, which means defeat. That is, you have been defeated in your holy life. It is believed in Buddhism that none of these mistakes can be done without intention. And when you have to do all these, then why are you pretending to be a bhikshu? So you have seen how difficult it is to be a bhikshu. Every 15 days your test is being done. So every upasak has the choice that when he moves forward in his journey, he himself should choose whether he wants to become a bhikshu or not. That is, Upsampada is not mandatory for any upasika or upasak. So let's focus on Sangh again. For Buddha, the main purpose of making Sangh was to spread the teachings of Buddhism as much as possible. And if the teachings have to be spread, then the monks will have to travel around continuously. They will have to go from place to place and tell people about Buddhism. And that's why when this Sangh started, there was no vihars etc. at that time. Vihar is that place where Buddhist monks live. The concept of vihar came a little later. So in the early years of Sangh, bhikshus were only instructed to move from one place to another and spread the teachings of Buddhism. But that time of the year when there is a lot of rain, that is monsoon season, the bhikshus were instructed to make arrangements to stay wherever they are. They were forbidden to travel during monsoon season. It is called monsoon retreat, and in Buddhist terminology, it is called Vasavasa. So we saw that monks stopped during Vasavasa. Even before that, they were walking, and once the monsoon season ends, they have to start walking again. But before leaving, a Buddhist ceremony is organized, which is called Pavaran, in which all the Buddhist monks who were living around during the monsoon retreat have to gather at one place. And they have to confess in front of this gathering whether they have broken any Patimukha rule during this monsoon retreat or not. In this ceremony, they can comment not only on their own but also on the behavior of other Buddhist monks living with them. This ceremony marks the end of the monsoon season, that is, the end of 3 lunar months of Vasa, also known as Buddhist Lent. Now, another important thing related to Sangh is that Sangh was started from first 5 disciples of Buddha, that is Upali, Moggallana, Anand, Aswajit, and Sariputta. And it was the organized efforts of Sangh itself that during the lifetime of Buddha, Buddhism became so popular in large part of North India, and many kingdoms also supported it. Like Bimbisara and Ajatsatru in Magad, Prasenjit in Kausal, Udayan in Kausambi, and many republican states of North India, including Kapilavastu, also adopted the doctrine of Buddhism. So we saw that Buddhism became very popular in North India during the lifetime of Buddha, but the popularity of Buddhism increased in real sense when around 200 years after the death of Buddha, the famous Mauryan emperor Ashok not only adopted Buddhism but also spread Buddhism abroad as a missionary. It was spread to Burma, Sri Lanka, and West Asia. So these were the details of spread of Buddhism. You can download PDF of this video from Bookstava app. To understand Indian history and Indian polity in detail, do follow Bookstava playlist. Link is given in the description box. Thank you for watching Bookstava.